Thanks for checking out my channel. If you'd like to take a moment to subscribe, that'd be great. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is going to be my review of Jurassic World Dominion. The, whoops, sorry, we released a film that a lot of people didn't like, so we're going to put more footage into it. Cut that is currently streaming on Peacock. I didn't see the first one, so I don't really know what was different. So my opinion might be slightly skewed based on whatever scenes they added to this version. Just gonna say that up front. You and I might have seen different versions of Jurassic World Dominion. I don't know. I'm a blind film critic, so I watched this with audio description. I also, unfortunately, was a blind person at the same time of Fallen Kingdom. However, every other Jurassic film I've seen, and they've been amazing, and I fucking love Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is the film that when people ask those questions of like what sparked your interest in film, why are you where you are, like why are you a film critic, why, what makes you get like a film degree? Jurassic Park. I mean, I can't even think of how many times as a kid I watched that added on VHS. It was like the first non-Disney title that I just really just cranked that VHS over and over and over and over and over and over. I don't even know how many times I've seen Jurassic Park. I know that I don't need audio description. Like I can sit and listen to, and I have since I've been blind. I've rewatched Jurassic Park without audio description. Like it's just been on, and I just sit and listen to it, and I can like literally the entire movie is stored like a DVR in my brain. And when I'm playing the audio, I can play the entire movie, and I'm just like, I've seen this movie so many times, and it just plays in my mind. And it's one of the only movies I can actually say that about, where I truthfully think when the movie's going, I can picture every frame. Like I know exactly what the film looks like, where the characters are, like whose face is in the frame. I can actually play the whole thing out. It's pretty cool. So when we get to Dominion, we've had a lot of Jurassic movies, and I think they've always wanted to make this movie, to be honest. And I know that seems shocking to you because a lot of people they've always wanted to make this. This movie is terrible. And yes, I think they've always wanted to make, in a way, this film. I think they wanted to do it with The Lost World. They got a taste of it. They got a taste of dinosaurs in our world. And I think that idea has sparked a lot of creativity and a lot of thoughts about how to go about doing that. And unfortunately, since Michael Crichton only wrote the 2 books, when they got to the 3rd film, they ended up not revisiting it, obviously, because the way The Lost World finishes, it makes it really hard for anybody to want to have dinosaurs on the mainland, because things did not go well. So Jurassic Park 3 is just where it is. And then we stopped making that set of movies, and we jumped all the way to this timeline where we have the 3 Jurassic films. And by the way, a very delightful Netflix series. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous is amazing, and I will stand by that. I love that show. I think it's a great show. Just, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Yes, it's aimed at families, but wow. For a show that's aimed at families, it really works, and it's really well written for a show like that. I mean, I see a lot of those things that pop up on Netflix where they're like Fast and Furious, Spy Racers, and you check it out and you're like, but actually Jurassic World really gets exciting and interesting throughout the run of the show. So, but this has, and I don't know if we saw the same film, but I really liked the opening shots where they just tried to show us what dinosaur life was like 65 million years ago. I'm sure the whole thing looked like a gigantic special effect. I'm sure there were no practical effects in that sequence at all. Unlike, the first film with Spielberg and tons of practical effects. I'm sure that was just, the whole thing was just computer animated. But the concept was cool. And I was like, because you're expecting, right? Based on how Fallen Kingdom, you're expecting dinosaurs roaming, the earth. And you don't realize, at least I didn't realize in that shot, that we were in the past. So I thought that was really cool and really well done. And then we jumped, and it was like 65 million years later, and suddenly we're back. And then we get to know the same characters that we know and love, and there's a couple of new characters, and there's a plot, sort of. Yes, it does revolve around locusts. I mean, I had heard that going in, that there are far too many locust moments. However, I also heard that there were like no dinosaur moments, and there are a lot of dinosaur moments in this, and that's not really fair. Some of them are kind of silly. I'm gonna be honest. There's one where like Owen breaks the neck of a dinosaur, and it's like one of the ones that's about to spit at Bryce Dallas Howard. And he just like comes up and breaks its neck. And it's just like, all right, we're doing that. Cool. I mean, anyway, so like I understand the ire for the film. I'm not trying to say this is a good film. It's not a good film. It's not a great film. Is it fun? Is it entertaining? Will it entertain a lot of Jurassic fans? Yes. And here's what I think the film should have done. What it's doing is it's wrapping up the Jurassic World franchise, the trilogy. Supposedly this is it. Like, this is the last time we're going to see Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and Omar Sy. Yes, Omar Sy was previously in other Jurassic World movies. I don't know why people keep forgetting that. I literally had to argue with somebody who was like, it's so woke, they added this guy. And I was like, they didn't add him. He's in the other fucking movies. Did you not watch the other movies? Did you just only watch? Are you that stupid? God, these people out there, like, they're looking, anytime they see somebody who's not white, they assume that it's like immediately woke. And I'm like, he was in the other movies and as a returning character. Calm the fuck down. And we brought back Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum in their respective characters. And we brought back B.D. Wong, because where would Jurassic Park be without the longest surviving side character in the history of film? He's like barely in the first film, and he's become such a huge part of this franchise. It's insane. He's in the cartoon also, by the way. Like, I think he's the only character I can say that about that's actually in the cartoon. So it's it's pretty amazing to see how B.D. Wong's Dr. Wu has managed to like transcend space and time and reality and everything to become the most central character in the Jurassic Park franchise. I think his character died in the book, like, which makes it even more. I'm trying to remember the book right now, but I think he died. I don't even think I think he's one of those characters that that survived their death in the book. Anyway, I think they should have. They were going for nostalgia anyway. Go for it. They should have pulled out all the stops. Like, why did we only get those three back? Where's Joseph Mazzello? Bring back, just, I don't know, literally the other characters. I know that we retroed, and I know that people who were in the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 don't exist, but I think it would be really funny to see them cameoed in a film as if they had never gone to those islands and they were just like regular people and they were just meeting for the first time. I think that could have been really cool. Um, to see somebody like Julianne Moore, Vince Vaughn pop up, even for like a second, in the film. I I think if you're gonna do nostalgia, just go for it. Just go for the nostalgia of it. And this film seems to want to go for the nostalgia so many times, which leads me to my third point. This film, unlike Fallen Kingdom, which even as a Jurassic Park fan, I have to admit, blows absolute ass. Just this film even tries to tie itself in legitimately by giving us a villain that's been around the whole time. I know. You're like, who? What? No, I'm pretty sure Campbell Scott was never in a Jurassic Park movie, and you're right about that. But you know who is? Lewis Dodson. That's the guy that Nedry was trying to get that fucking Barbasol can to. He's the one that was paying. If you've read the book, his character is actually in the book. Like they actually have a segment in the book where Dodson is doing his own thing, and he has a rival company to InGen, and I don't know if it's the same name. I don't ask me to. It's been a long time since I've read the book, but Dodson's from the book. He's like an OG character that just didn't translate into the film, that they were like, we don't need him. We'll just reference him. And now they brought him out for this, which is kind of cool when you think about it, because they could have just done what the other thing did and created some asinine character played by James Cromwell who clones his daughter. Anyway, I just, whatever that plot was. Fallen Kingdom was just a lot of just terribleness. But yeah, no, they brought Dodson into this, and they set up a plot, and they set up a story. Unfortunately, it was with locusts, which is, I mean, I guess they're trying to say something about our current, state in, climate change, and how the locusts are, because we do actually have a locust season and locust problems, and how they're using locusts and anything. I feel like they're trying to say something through the locust by doing that, but at the same time, I just do not know. It's biblical too. Like I mean, I can see why, but at some point somebody along the way should have been like, we have dinosaurs and we're going to make this about locusts. I don't know that we need to do that. I feel like that's not something we need to do. Yeah, I feel like another cool thing that would have really worked for me, anyway, just as a side note, that Camp Cretaceous has done, is introduce a saber-toothed tiger. Missed opportunity, to go in that direction. So, but overall, I thought the film was enjoyable. It brought in characters. Did it make all of the decisions that I would have made? No. I I still love that they hold their hand out like it's the Force, and that's what controls raptors. That's my favorite thing. Just anyway. I love. And it like other people start doing it too, and the little girl starts doing it, and she's like holding her hand out, and she's like, I got this. She holds her hand out. It's like, what does that mean? Like, how did this become a thing, like a command for dinosaurs? Anyway, it's not as bad as some people have said. Like, I've heard people who are like, I couldn't even, I watched 20 minutes and I had to get out. And I was like, really? I mean, the first 20 minutes is still like trying to rope everybody together. Like, the film doesn't even really start after 20 minutes. Like, they're still kind of trying to like be like, this is where this person is, and this is where this person is, and this is where this person is. And it's all kind of, I mean, it's fine at that point. It's not really until the film gets going and you kind of start seeing where they're going with the locusts, where you could really go, we're going to go off plot here. yeah, the film focuses too much on humans. I no, not really. I mean, it focuses on the cast, and of course they're going to introduce some new characters because nobody, I don't think anybody ever really thought any of the returning legacy characters were going to, you know, bite the dust. So they have to actually bring in new characters. Otherwise, you know, people are going to be like, okay, well, who's going to be the first? I mean, it's not that, you know, legacy characters can't die, as witnessed through the Halloween franchise. It's just, if you only had the legacy characters, you would the you would be far less interested in every single time that they got into danger. At least when the group gets into danger and you've got like a character that can be written off, you're like, oh, well, this is the time for that one extraneous character to finally bite the dust. Because you know, in like little situations, you're like, nobody's gonna die in this. No. If it's gonna be a big death. It's not gonna be a little death. It's gonna be a big death. So it's that kind of thing. So you have to have the characters for the little moments along the way. So I don't really get a lot of the complaints with the film. It's fucking way better than Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom was ass garbage compared to this, and I'm saying that as a Jurassic fan in the way that I would still watch Fallen Kingdom. And I know it's terrible. This film, I enjoyed it a little bit more than Fallen Kingdom. First time around, first time out the door. Same thing I kind of said earlier this year with Scream. When I saw that, is at least it's a Scream film. And it's also not the worst Scream movie in the franchise, although I disagreed with one of the killers in that. So sometimes when we bring these things back around, I just enjoy the fact that we're doing it again, that we're on another journey. And I think about the little kid that sat in that theater and watched Jurassic Park for the first time and was just blown away. And just like my whole world was opened up beyond Disney cartoons, beyond anything else. It was just seeing dinosaurs, realistic dinosaurs on the big screen like that. You know, I think so many of us, they expected us to have the adverse reaction of not wanting to go to a Jurassic Park, but I think so many people did after that. I think if Jurassic Park had been a reality, even after that movie, it would have been super popular. But yeah, it's an okay way to say goodbye. It's not the best way that they could have done it. It's not the best way that they could have had dinosaurs among us, but it's also not the worst. The audio description does a really great job. I have no idea who did it because Peacock, at the end of the film, it was like directed by Colin Trevorrow, and it went to like the credit right after that, which I can't even remember, and then just cut and just started playing another Peacock title. And I was like, thanks, Peacock. I will never know who describes any of your movies. So, or who's in the credits, which is, I would think that people who, this whole like cutting the credits out thing would be a huge deal for everyone who's in them. Like all of those below the line jobs. You know, anyone who's sitting at home who's like, oh, I was the grip on this film. Can't wait to see my name in the cred. What the fuck? Why did it just cut the credits? Anyway, so yes, give it, I don't know. I would say give it a shot, but I don't know that this film is going to be for everybody. I can see why people don't like it, and I'm not going to dismiss it totally. Dismiss those people totally. I think some people are being a little bit harsh and some people are being a little bit overreactionary. And I question whether or not those people were ever Jurassic fans ever. You know, some stuff I've seen online, I'm like, did you ever like a Jurassic film? But other stuff is warranted. There are some dumb things happening in this film. It's not the best film. It is about to make $1 billion at the box office though, so there's something. Anyway, this is a long-ass review, but I love Jurassic movies, and I could talk about them for hours and days, so sorry about that. But I just have a passion. Read the book, saw the movies, watched the cartoon, so I'm going to give Jurassic World Dominion a B minus. Yeah, that's about where it worked for me. I've been giving a lot of B minuses recently. But that's where this film sits for me. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. You can go to my website, macmovieguy.com, for more reviews. You can go to the audio description project. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And theadna.org is like IMDb for narrators because they can't be on IMDb, so they are crowdsourcing their own website. So please check it out and support them. And as always, I got to go review something else, so I'll see you on the other side.